I am Dr. Jake Caldwell. I'm a physical therapist, and I want to talk to you today about hip internal rotation. It's the ability to turn the hip internally, like this. It's arguably the most important motion we need to keep in our bodies. You need your hip to turn internally like that in order to let your hip go behind you. So anytime we're walking, running, anything, and we need the hip to go back behind us, the hip has to rotate internally for us to really do that safely. If we don't have that internal rotation, we have to make up for it somewhere. And it's going to go up and cause low back pain by making us tweak our low backs too much. Or it will go down and tweak our knees, and it's a major cause of knee pain. So low back pain, knee pain, primarily one of the root causes is lack of rotation in the hip. It's also the first thing we start losing the hip, which leads to hip arthritis. So losing that rotation in the hip is extremely bad for the body, really bad for the hip itself, and really overstresses the knee and the low back, two of the most common pains we have. I want to show you a very simple stretch you can do to maintain that. Get down in this position here, so you have your front hip turned inward and your back one turned outward. And this is that internal rotation here. So my right hip is an internal rotation. Have your hands forward on the ground so your body weight is forward, and slowly work your way back so that you're upright on this hip. You want to get here without any stretch. Now, most people can't just sit here without any stretch at all. They'll be here feeling some sort of stretch in there, or halfway back, or part of the way there, or maybe even close to being there, but they won't be on this hip comfortably sitting here. Now, where you feel the stretch could be a lot of places. It could be the inside of the knee, which means this is not a good stretch for you right now. You're stressing out your knee, so don't do that. If you feel it in the inside of your knee, this is not a good stretch right now. Another place you might feel it is your inner thigh. That's a great place to feel it. A lot of people will feel it right here on the outside of the hip, and that's the hip joint itself stretching in the internal rotation. That's where we really want to feel it, is in here. Now, between those three places, the one we have to worry about is the inside of the knee. What you could try doing, you see how my foot is pointing outward, you could try pointing your foot downward. That oftentimes will take the stress off the inside of the knee. If it does, great, you can use this stretch. If it doesn't, you got to stop this stretch. It will really, really hurt your knee. So, you start forward like this, you come back until you can hopefully get up on top of it like this, and then you just wait there and let the hip stretch out. Oftentimes it will be an uncomfortable, mild pinching feeling here in the hip. It can be mild, we don't want it to be a significant pinch. So again, if it's a significant pinch, you're going too far, you probably should be more like here, or maybe with your hands up on your opposite leg, making sure it's only a mild sensation that you're getting in the other hip. And restoring and maintaining your hip internal rotation is one of the best things you can do for your hip, your knee, your low back, and really for your whole body, to let your hips do what they need to do, the engines of the body to do what they need to do.